Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Yee, a career counselor at Citrus College. Welcome to Career Chats, brought to you by the Citrus College Career and Transfer Center. So in this episode, we're going to talk all about a relatively controversial topic, but it's pretty trending lately, and that is artificial intelligence and the future of work. So by now we've all been exposed to AI, right, in some form or another with our smartphones, think Siri, or household gadgets like Google Home or Alexa for Amazon. Maybe we've asked a tech support question to a chatbot online and got something that addressed our questions rather quickly without ever having to speak to a live agent. So AI is literally changing how we live, work, and are entertained. So in this podcast today, we'll explore how AI tech advancements may impact the job market and shape the future of work. So we've come a long way from those conversations centered on how robots and technology will eventually take over jobs from human beings. Some say that's actually happening as we speak. Some experts say that the reality is AI is not eliminating jobs for people, it's just changing the nature of those roles. And moving forward, it's going to become increasingly common for employers to seek professionals who have backgrounds in, let's say, business management, as they require less technical skills and more analytical and strategic ones. What was really interesting is the Future of Jobs report published just last month in April of 2023 by the World Economic Forum in Geneva, Switzerland. It explored how jobs and skills will evolve over the next 5 years. So this series continues the analysis of employer expectations to provide new insights on how socioeconomic and technology trends will shape the workplace of the future. So this study surveyed more than 800 companies that collectively employ over 11 million workers across 45 economies from all over the world. And it said, in the next 5 years, nearly a quarter of all jobs will change as a result of artificial intelligence, digitization, and other economic developments like the green energy transition. And while the study expects AI to result in significant labor market disruption, the impact of most technologies could be positive over those next 5 years as big data analytics, management technologies, and cybersecurity becomes the bigger drivers for employment growth. So what does that all mean? So while expectations of the displacement of physical and manual work by machines has decreased from what was initially predicted back in 2020, reasoning, communicating, and coordinating, again, all traits with a comparative advantage for humans, are expected to be more automatable in the future. Some 75% of surveyed companies said they expect to adopt AI technologies over the next 5 years, which will eliminate up to 26 million jobs in record keeping and administrative positions. So think cashiers, ticket clerks, data entry, accounting. Keep an eye out for those of you that might be interested in those fields. Bottom line, survey results indicate that 50% of organizations expect it to create job growth and 25% to create job losses. But the chatter coming down the pipe now is usage of ChatGPT. So what's this ChatGPT? It's the fastest growing app of all time. So ChatGPT has 100 million active users in January, as of this year, only 2 months after its launch. For comparison, it took 9 months for just TikTok alone to reach 100 million users. And ChatGPT has continued to dazzle the internet with AI-generated content, morphing from just a very simple chatbot into a piece of technology that's driving the next era of innovation. So ChatGPT is a natural language processing tool driven by AI technology that allows you to have human-like conversations. And the language model can answer questions and assist you with tasks, such as composing emails, essays, and code. What does that mean? Major brands are experimenting with it, using the AI to generate ad and marketing copy. What does that mean for the future, for those who work in advertising and marketing? Is there a future? Hard to say. So since its release in November of 2022, so far, ChatGPT has been used to write cover letters, create children's books, help students write their essays. So cheating is running rampant in the college systems. It could even create travel itineraries. And it's even more powerful than we ever imagined. Google found that in theory, the search engine would hire the bot as an entry-level coder if it actually interviewed at the company. Amazon employees who tested ChatGPT said it does a very good job of answering customer service questions and is great at making training documents and is very strong at answering queries around corporate strategy. However, others have also found that the bot can generate misinformation, incorrectly answer coding problems, and produce errors in basic math. So, the types of jobs that AI will create will differ from those that are being lost. So that's, something that's positive. So for example, AI is already being used to automate repetitive and mundane tasks, such as data entry and processing. So this means that jobs requiring these skills will likely be automated in the future. However, machines are less likely to replace jobs requiring human skills, such as problem solving, creativity, and empathy. Also, good news is that AI will enhance these jobs and take these jobs requiring problem solving. So let's say automotive technician, managers, motivational leaders, event planners, creativity, makeup artists, designers, performing arts people, influencers, and those with empathy, healthcare, mental health professionals, coaches, human resource professionals, and teachers, to a whole new level, creating new opportunities like never before. So is college out? I think as a career counselor, skills are in, however you get them. So analytical thinking and creative thinking remain the most important skill for workers in 2023. Analytical thinking is considered a core skill by more companies than any other skill. Creative thinking, on the other hand, ranks second, followed by 3 self-efficacy skills: resilience, flexibility, and agility, motivation and self-awareness, and curiosity and lifelong learning, and recognition of the importance of workers' ability to adapt to disrupted workplaces. Dependability and attention to detail rank 6th, behind technology literacy. So the point of this podcast is really to look at, now that we know a little bit more about ChatGPT and AI, its impact on the job market. And experts say that advancements in AI could be a double-edged sword for the global economy. While it boosts productivity, it could also change business and industry. So one example of a company that has successfully integrated AI into its business is UPS. The global and shipping and logistics company has been leveraging AI to optimize its delivery routes, saving them millions in fuel costs. Using AI to analyze factors such as traffic, weather, and package volume, UPS has significantly reduced the time and distance their delivery trucks travel. This has not only saved them money, but it reduced their carbon footprint. Another way that AI is impacting work and the job market is creating new industries and business models. For example, the rise of self-driving cars has led to new businesses that use autonomous vehicles, such as self-hailing services and delivery companies. This in turn has created new job opportunities for people with software engineering and data analysis skills. So what I think is really interesting, and again, this is such a new topic, but something to just keep our eye on in the next few years, but I came across an article that described how ChatGPT, so again, AI, may be coming for our jobs and the 10 roles that AI is most likely to replace. So just wanted to share with all of you, for example, technology jobs. That was number 1. So those are our coders, our computer programmers, our software engineers, our data analysis. In fact, advanced technologies like ChatGPT could produce code faster than humans, which means that work can be completed with fewer employees. What used to take a team of software developers might only take 1 of them. Number 2, media jobs. So advertising, content creation, technical writing, and journalism. The media industry is already beginning to experiment with AI-generated content. Tech news site, for example, CNET, used an AI tool similar to ChatGPT to write dozens of articles. So I think the bottom line here is that the majority of work done by content creators is not necessarily automatable. There's tons of human judgment that goes into each of these occupations. There's also, number 3, legal industry jobs like paralegals and legal assistants. Like media jobs and media roles, jobs in the legal industry such as paralegals and legal assistants are responsible for consuming large amounts of information, synthesizing what they learned, and then making it digestible through a legal brief or opinion. And structured legal roles like these are susceptible to automation. Then there's also market research analysts, number 4, teachers, number 5. We see right now that ChatGPT can easily teach classes already. Although it has bugs and inaccuracies in terms of knowledge, this can easily be improved. A high school math and science teacher claimed that she used ChatGPT to do things like lesson planning, felt that she wasn't worried about the technology replacing her because she found, quote, there will always be a need for us in the human connection that comes with in-person instruction. And I think to an extent that might be true. There's also finance jobs like analysts, personal financial advisors, because AI can identify trends in the market, highlight what investments in a portfolio are doing better and worse, communicate all that, and then use various other forms of data by, say, a financial company to forecast a better investment mix. So these financial analysts make a lot of money, but parts of their job are also automatable. Finally, traders, graphic designers, and then accountants. Accounting has traditionally been viewed as a stable profession, but employees in this industry also could be at risk. Like, for example, with intellectual labor, that could be threatened. This could be also lawyers. It's something new, and it'll be pretty interesting to see how disruptive and painful it is to employment and politics. Customer service agents. So a 2022 study from the tech research company Gartner predicted that chatbots will be the main customer service channel for roughly 25% of companies by 2027. So what new types of jobs might be created as a result of AI? So we're going to start hearing more jobs called prompt hackers and AI strategists. So as this revolution gets underway, talent with what we call deep experience in large language models, so LLMs, which ChatGPT and other tools have trained on, will be avidly sought out. Experts say that these projects are actually quite different than before we had ChatGPT. One analyst said that companies should be asking, what should my generative AI strategy be? Does this make sense? Where should I have it focused? So therefore, these new employees will be focusing more on strategy. And it's not just AI machine learning engineers and these prompt hackers who will be in high demand, but UX and full stack engineers will also be avidly sought by organizations looking to use the new generative AI tool. So keep an eye out for how new job titles will be forming and things will be coming up in the future. So AI has already begun to impact the job and work environment, and I think this trend will continue. And while AI can automate many jobs or make workers more efficient, it can also, on a good note, hopefully create new job opportunities. Businesses and also students, as you're looking for work, should be aware of these shifts and start really keeping an eye out how new technology will be changing and how businesses are adapting to this. This may mean looking for companies that are looking to retrain employees alongside AI or hiring new employees with more specialized skills like machine learning and data analysis versus downsizing. It's still pretty early to predict, but again, keep an eye out, just keep it in the back of your mind for in-demand skills and companies that are pivoting with AI versus eliminating or downsizing our human workers. So thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. To access all Career Chat episodes and to learn more about this topic and others, or to schedule an appointment with your career counselor, visit our website. Thanks for tuning in.